Hello, greetings. This is Gilles Monsieur. I am guided, inspired, and called to return here to speak today. And for it is the solstice. This is a great time of shifting energies. We're learning every day, new alignment, new power. We're beginning to understand more what our soul plans are, what we need to do, what we need to align with. For those things should start to become clear to each and every one that has been addressing this inner self. For the highest wisdom for us today is our mission. We have a mission to fulfill on the earth, and we should not allow ourselves to be distracted from the grace and beauty and empowerment that this mission is to be our higher self, to be our God self. We've never been disconnected from our higher self, from our God self. It was an illusion of the past. I'm going to return to that. So it's about focusing on whatever that call, that inner call is. What we need to understand is liberation. What is this point of liberation? To be there already, to feel that already, to connect to that already, to not allow anything else to distract you from this point of freedom. What we need to do is hope. We have to stay focalize on hope and not to and eventually to move from hope into knowing. Once we have enough anchored this knowing, then it will become for what we know. We're recreating reality, and we'll talk about that each and every moment. And the outcome to this process will be forgiveness. We at some point we were all doing things that were completely. We have to forgive ourselves and to forgive everything else and everyone else, because we are all one. And for a long time, for decades, I used to abuse my physical body with all kinds of unhealthy habits. Although I was channeling through my heart, and my heart being pure, I still was connected to the spiritual path. But now I have to clean up my physical body, for I know it is happening, and it feels great to be able to take care of that elemental physical body. But for that, I need to forgive all my past, And so we have to forgive. Forgiveness is something we have to work on every day, and to breathe deeply each and every day to work on that. For the old energies, the negative energies that disconnect, that separate, that decompose, that segregate is no longer appropriate. They no longer work. We want to work with positive energy that unify, that connects, that include. And for that, we need to breathe. Whenever to focus on our breathing more, to be more conscious of our breathing, to take a few deep breaths at any point in time, to focalize on that. I've been a little bit. I've had some struggle in the past, but now I'm realizing that all of this never really existed. It was an illusion that I've created, and no matter what, the reality has been decomposed and recomposed at a speed that is far greater than the human mind can comprehend. That's if you would look at the of the time of Planck, it's like it's going a lot fast. But even if we would accept the fact that we can recreate a reality, like we divide a second by 100, and within this 100 frame per second, we can recreate a totally new reality. For change is something natural. It's just like, rather than getting what's been created in the past, we choose to recreate at any moment a new reality. And so it's like for instance, I'm realizing I used to the greatest struggle I had in my life, or I had many addictions, I overcome them all, but and I thank God for that. But the tobacco has been the greatest of all. But whenever I have a craving for cigarettes, rather than thinking that this could even exist, I'm recreated this reality where I've never been a smoker. So if I've never been a smoker, when those feelings comes, they're just an illusion that are passing right away. There is no more attachment to that. And so for it was all part of an illusionary experience and whatever reality. And so this can be worked out with any craving, any form of because we can redefine our reality. I know that God explained to me that long ago. It took me a while to integrate, assimilate that. Is once my life will be settled in abundance, in permanence, in luxury, in bliss. I will feel it as it's always has been like that. It will be so natural to feel like that all the struggle I've been through was a very short, minuscule time, and even it did not really exist, because it was an illusion that led me through the process in order to get me to that point of power. self-empowerment, understanding that all fears and shadows and beliefs are, that make us feel bad are not natural. That's why they don't feel good if they feel. So we realize you're always one, you've always been connected, you've always been one with your creator, you always have been your God self. It was an illusion that we've created, but if we created this negative illusion, now we can create a much positive vision in relationship to ourselves. The same thing in relationship to soulmates and relationship. For I know that there is this alignment with this person that I'm going to meet. I cross our paths met, but I never seen suicidal eyes. I know once we're going to look each other in the eye, we're going to recognize each other, and we'll be happy for the rest of our life, because it's just like total joy, total. And I was thinking, well, I don't really have time now. I have to take care of my logistic and take care of my life. But now I'm realizing she's the most important thing in my life. As if I align with her, the whole logistic, everything will come to fulfill that relationship. So it's like with whatever vision I have of my future, I used to say to envision or to project myself, not to project, but to be in that reality. But now I'm always making sure that I'm experiencing that as a couple, so that it's like it reinforced for this person. I know will harmonize my life. It will, of course, she will be the one that choose. It's not for me to cannot. It's a mutual choice. For we are creating and recreating life at every moment. Life is a great blank canvas. My master guide explained to me that a long time ago, and in truth, once we connect to that understanding that we've always been one with God, we've always been one with ecstatic joy. It feels really natural. There is nothing else that we can actually accept as reality. For that is reality. Everything else, the struggle, the suffering, they were illusion. And the more we move into this sphere of reconnection, the more we realize all those things have never existed. They were part of an illusionary construct that we constructed within the sphere of duality. As we remove all the negative, separating, conflicting and contrasted energy, we move into a sphere where grace dominates. And so we can, of course, we're going to say, well, look back at your experience in the past few months you've been like going through, but it was a necessary experience, and whatever struggle we go through in our life, it is something that leads us, that needs, once we understand the parameters of what our soul has designed for us, we understand that everything has been calculated to bring us into this salvation, this empowerment, and this salvation, and this enlightenment. Yeah, so just breathe and let go of because the lower mind is very this mortal mind, this physical mind, is very good to imagine a reality that's happening in the physical, but it has no clue in relationship to how things will happen in the future. So it's far better to project ourselves in the final, in the vision that we need to integrate, and trust the flow of grace will bring us there, and try to create it each and every step, and let go of the lower mind as much as possible, and tune into the higher mind. So I hope this message was interesting for you, meaningful, made sense. I'm going to pull a few cards with the Akash, the card of the Akash, for we are going to discover new Akash. For our higher self, our main higher self lives in a very specific dimension and frequency, maybe on the ship, maybe on another planet, maybe on another dimension. And so but it's like so we want to reconnect to that. It's like the hand is the higher self, and we have many incarnations that are working together to make this hand work. Even if one incarnation failed, we still can work with our hand. The hand will adapt. But understand, your incarnation here and now is the thumb. It's like the hand won't work without the thumb. It's like, so it needs you. It needs your full awareness, needs your full consciousness, and so. About making peace with the soul, because sometimes I felt my soul was really hard on me, but it was for a higher purpose that those things happen. And so, but all of this will disappear, vanish as I move into this higher sphere. For at the base, the root, this is a reading from the 7 major chakras. As we always want to be connected on a vertical axis of the light. There is this vertical axis, and there is the horizontal axis of time and space, which connect us to the hologram of reality. Our consciousness is on the hologram, but our heart and mind and higher mind is connected to this. The point of freedom happens on the vertical axis. As we align all our chakras, so we open the door to the skies, our consciousness can go visit the upper plane and eventually brings this light down. And another thing that's important to understand is that each chakra is connected to a different light frequency. For we have also minor chakras that are being activated in the base of the neck, in the like the thymus and the thyroid and other glands within the brain and all kinds of other chakras, but skin chakras, or kidney chakras, and so on. But each chakra, the main 7 chakras, are connected to a frequency of life. The root being red, the navel being orange, solar plexus being yellow, the heart being green, the throat chakra being blue, the third eye being indigo, and the crown being violet. It represents the spectrum of frequency of the rainbow. And when you look at the sun is the physical manifestation of what God is a physical God of a sense. It's not God, but it is the closest things we have to God in the physical world. For it gives light, it gives heat, it gives to all without needing anything from anybody. It is the main presence of the solar system, and we want to return to this solar nature. So tune in your frequency, your chakras, to create this rainbow bridge through the alignment of all the colors of the rainbow to fuse into the white and yellow light of the sun, and so to create this rainbow that will allow us to move into this solar frequency. So this is just an understanding. So at the base, at the root, it's persecution and inquisition. The roots is where the challenges are. It is the most difficult. We want to solidify our roots. In order to solidify our roots, we need to purify our physical body. For toxins will create a weaker root. For we experience essentially ascension through the upper chakras. People who are not interested in ascension operate essentially with 3 lower chakras. The heart being that connects the upper receptive and the lower creative. But a lot of people do not even reach the heart chakra. More and more are happening to the heart chakra and when working through the. But if we accumulate a lot of energy on the upper chakra, but our roots is weak, then we get destabilized. So we need to purify our physical body, for it is happening, and so we'll be able to liberate ourselves from persecution and inquisition, and at which point we'll find health. We'll find this balance, a physical balance, and we can ask the elementals within ourselves to upgrade our energies, the selves, the Ondine, the dwarf and the salamander and the divas to oversee the process, and we can and then the Elohim that is overseeing that is the creator of form, the design. For we are all, it's all part of our higher self, and we have those elemental beings. For on the navel, which is connected to the astral plane and the earth plane, we have the Father. So God is present. As God becomes more present within our physical life, we become more integrated and we start making sense of things. For there is a revelation that is happening through this presence of an understanding of this presence of source within all beings and all things. What we see on our solar plexus, which is our power center, is karmic relation. We are attached to certain energy. We want to detach from all those energy. We want to let go of karma to move into something that is totally free, totally aligned with this flow, this breath of life, the breath of God. In the heart, we have the bride and groom, for it reflects maybe what I'm working on right now. I'm not working on it, but it's like this alignment that is happening within me with this beautiful person I'm aligning with. What we communicate, what's the communication on the throat chakra, is the scribe or the writer. It is important to document all your interdimensional experiences or messages, because the lower mind will not be able to interpret them. So it's by documenting them, little by little, the higher mind will come to interpret those things. What we see before us is, in the third eye, is the high priest of priestesses. It's about becoming self-empowered. It's about regaining those powers that we had in the past life, or even on a higher self. Where a higher self is a very powerful being, and on the crown is what crowns us is the war and battle. It's about making peace with this dualistic principle, to make peace, to forgive each and every one, to forgive ourselves, to let go of this inner struggle, to understand it never really existed. If we do not fight, there is no way we can we can get a conflict. We always have to. We can never push a conflict to the end. Even if we're right, it's better to stop it halfway. And so it is. And the wars that are still going on this earth is what is creating the most pollution. There is nothing more pollutive than war, both on the energetic and physical level. All those wars that are completely unnecessary. Humans will come to realize that they're very arrogant in believing that they can use brutality and violence to enforce their will. And so once we realize that, we'll come to the understanding of wisdom, and then we'll open ourselves as a humanity to an era of wisdom. We'll plant the trees of wisdom that will grow for thousands of years. What's anchored in the earth, our earth chakra that's below our feet, that will manifest in the physical realm, is a love life. It's about being a romantic. It's about being open to this love, for it is connected to this relationship. For this is really what I'm because I used to think, well, it's like the relationship will come, but it's like once everything is worked out. But she's essential. She's the most important person in my life. She's my only family, and so she's really somebody I wanna tune in to the frequency. It's like I don't want to push my energy on her to be forceful or anything, but it's always coming down to this alignment where I consider this energy, even though we've never really met. It's still I know who she is, so it's like I'm tuning in, and so. And then on the crown, which is a silver light that's that's on the upper chakra above our head, about 12 inches above our head, which will come from the future, is a new form of empowerment. Is the Celtic. It's the connection to the magic kingdom, the magic world, which is connected to this high priestess. Yeah, and so because there were very powerful understandings that the Druids had, that the Celt had, for we were all the Merlin. You can call on Master Merlin. Is a great lord. Is one of the senior speaker for the Ascended Master realm. He's a very advanced. For we want to utilize magic as much as possible as we become clear-headed, clear physically, clear. Our heart is being clear. We are opening ourselves to the potential of making magic happen, without having to control outcome, to trust that the goodness of our intention will manifest what we need to manifest. I hope this message was interesting for you. I thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting. And this is a portrait. It's a portrait of a model. This was just an inspiration I had to take a few photos, because I will soon return into a position where I'll have muses around me to inspire me, and hopefully this my beloved as well. And then this is a painting it's a painting from 2008 of the solar system. When I started to doing this, I started with it was a round cap, and I put the sun here, and my hand moved next to it. It was like the 8 was created. You can see, like, there's this 8 here was created. It was like spirit created that, and it's really what makes the painting works, with the dynamic of this pink magenta spiral. And here there's Mercury, there is Venus, there is the Earth. They're kind of pretty. They kind of look like really what they would look like if we would like come in a physical plane. Then there is Mars and Jupiter and Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, and Chiron, which is like the stabilizer. Chiron is going to go retrograde. Chiron is a very spiritual planet, very fast-going energies, very about healing and about integrating. My master guide lives on Chiron. My soul lives on Chiron. My soul family lives on Chiron, are connected to this energy. And so I'm really eager to be able to integrate more of that energy. I'm working on that each and every day. I'm going to finish with this song, just to finish in music. Soon I will be able to rework with instrument, maybe hire a musician to do collaboration, and so it's like a new string to my bow. In a sense, I have painting, I have sculpture, I have writing, and now I'm gonna have music. Maybe I'm gonna dance. Maybe I'm gonna do movies. Maybe I'm gonna do and then I have a friend and guide whose name is Apollon. He came down to me one morning and like in a vision and told me that he wanted me to master all of the 7 arts. So in architecture, like I will seek to buy a land, even some rather when I can. I have some specific, of course, and then I probably will work with an architect to develop my own architecture, and to work with the 7 arts. For the 7 arts are painting, sculpture. Well, the painting for me is the most essential. Even not Michelangelo, but Leonardo da Vinci thought that sculpture was secondary, but it's quite important as well. Painting, sculpture, dance, music, poetry, and architecture, and dramatic art. So those are the 7 arts that are officially there. And poetry is very, very, very important for I'm a writer as well. I'm going to finish with this song. It's a beautiful poem by an incredible musician. It's from Elton John. It's called Your Song. It's a little bit funny, that feeling inside. I'm not one of those who can easily hide. I don't have much money, but boy, if I did, I'd buy a big house where we both could live. If I was a sculptor, but then again, no, or a man who makes potion in a traveling show. I know it's not much, but it's the best I can do. My gift is my song, and this one's for you. And you can tell everybody, this is your song. It may be quite simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind, I hope you don't mind that I put down in words how wonderful life is while you're in the world. I sat on the roof and kicked off the moss with a few of those verses. Well, they get me quite cross, but the sun's been quite kind while I wrote this song. It's for people like you that I keep it turned on. So excuse me for getting, but these things I do. You see, I've forgotten if they're green or they're blue. Anyway, the thing is, what I really mean, yours are the sweetest eyes I've ever seen. And you can tell everybody, this is your song. It may be quite simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind, I hope you don't mind that I put down in words how wonderful life is while you're in the world. I hope you don't mind, I hope you don't mind that I put down in words how wonderful life is while you're in the world. Thank you very much for sticking till the end. Thank you, Elton John. And thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing. I wish you a wonderful, wonderful solstice and the whole wonderful summer. For all things are being shifted now. So let us be ready. Let us be ready to receive the gift of life, the gift of new energies, the gift of new opportunities. I'm very grateful for your presence and your continuation in working with your inner light and your spiritual guidance. For we are connecting, we are creating this one society. And as a last word, I thought, whenever you feel you need assistance, you can connect to the collective of whales and dolphins. For those beings are already connected to the unified field of the 5th dimension. So whenever you feel you need the help and assistance in reinforcing your energy, of course you can call on your guides and angels, but the whales and dolphins are assisting, a very powerful influence in assisting this collective ascension that we are undergoing. Thank you very much. Namaste.